open this up real quick, man. Gotta always check it on the YouTube to see if it's see if everything's running the way that it's supposed to be running, of course. Okay, see this. Let's see. Let me check this out. Checking again. Gotta keep on looking, man. All right, let's see. Live stream. Is this up? Make sure I can hear myself. Let's see if I can hear myself. Hold on, Mom. I think we're good. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Yeah, I can hear myself. Got you. All right. Cool. Let's check this. Hold on. Let me turn this down real quick. I gotta pull up the stream. Let me pull the stream real quick on let me pull it up on my my computer real quick so I can keep up with the super chats and everything, man. And then we're good to go to talk about this episode of Raw, man. I'm letting you guys know right now. This is a very, very uneventful episode of Raw. I'm not gonna go as far as to say it was the worst show ever because it wasn't the worst Raw ever. You don't understand what I'm saying? But it was a bad Raw. This is a bad show. I'm sorry. I know people are gonna lose their minds because Braun Breaker finally cut a good promo, which we're gonna get to that. Okay, Braun Breaker did cut a good promo tonight, but there is a problem because Triple H said that tonight's show was going to be epic. That's his words, not mine. That's what he said. Okay, that's what Triple H said. Triple H said tonight's show was going to be epic in scale. Okay, so let's see how epic the show really was, of course, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's see how epic it was. You know what I mean? Let's check this out here. So I have, okay, yeah, we're good on that. Perfect. But yeah, there you go, man. What were you guys' thoughts on Raw, bro? What are you guys' thoughts on Raw? Your boy is this is a pretty bad show. It was a bad show. I understand that, people are they think it was great and, this was amazing, yada, yada, yada. We have to be real with ourselves, guys. Nothing on this show actually matters. And that's really the main problem that we have. Let's see here. People are saying decent, ads, garbage, trash, mid, decent. I would say, yeah, I mean, it's not the worst Raw ever. But it's just not gonna cut it, bro. It's not gonna cut it. It was, in my opinion, I would just say it was bad. I'd say like a 3 or a 4 out of 10. It's a bad show. It's trash, basically. Not the worst, but it was so bad. Like, that's what I'm saying. The bar is so low. It's so low, guys. Like, it's the bar so low, bro. All they need to do is give us a decent show. That's all they need to do in order for us to be pleased, and they can't even do that. So I don't even know, Mom. I don't even know. The ending was a disqualification. Yeah, the ending was trash. There's nothing really to say about that. The ending sucked, right? I mean, what do we say about it, right? I mean, Jey Uso lost to LA Knight just so LA Knight won. LA Knight has now advanced just to lose. And then we had a bad Maximus Dupree has a video segment, and she's basically just training with Natalya. What am I supposed to say to that, bro? Why, am I supposed to be excited with that? Joel Jasai, bro, starting off the stream with a big 5, man. I appreciate you, bro. He sends over a 5. He says, the mystery guy was John Cena because you couldn't see him on Raw. That's probably facts, Mom. Listen, whether it was Austin Theory or whoever it was, it doesn't even matter. They're all jobbers. Nobody cares. Like, if it was Austin Theory, Babadook, nobody cares, bro. Who cares who it was? Seriously. Let's run down what happened real quick before we get into the actual review, because this is not going to be a long review, because I want to get the other review out, obviously, for, for YouTube, of course. You know what I'm saying? The shorter review, obviously. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to break this down live because this was deflating. I don't even have the same energy after watching this show because it was complete garbage. Triple H is telling us before the show this is going to be epic. This is an epic show. What was epic about this show? Someone in the chat, please tell me what was epic about this show, bro. What was epic about it? We just had a War Games 2 days ago, and 90% of the competitors in the War Games matches weren't even on the show tonight. They weren't even on the show. They weren't even on the show tonight. Well, they weren't even on the show. What's it called? AJ Lee wasn't there. CM Punk, the World Heavyweight Champion who just was feuding with Braun Breaker 2 days ago, wasn't there. Roman Reigns, not there. Brock Lesnar, not there. Cody Rhodes, not there. Drew McIntyre, not there. But we got Logan Paul. And we didn't even get Jimmy Uso, right? It's just nobody's showing up, man. I don't need to yell about this stuff. This is nonsense. CM Punk is apparently injured, which is unfortunate. But again, when you have your champions being 50 years old, what do you expect? You think Punk's going to be able to handle a War Games match at 50? This is why you give championships to younger stars, which I assume Braun Breaker will be the next world champion. So there you have it. But anyways, Triple H said that this show was going to be an epic show, right? And you have the guy who was in the hoodie is going to be revealed and all this stuff. No hoodie. No reveal of anything, guys. We already knew it's Austin Theory, but nobody said anything, of course. So there you have it. We want revenge. What was this next one there? Oh, yeah. Monday Night Raw, or Monday Night Rio, guys. We had Monday Night Rio. Yeah. Io Sky and Rhea Ripley opened up the show, and they said absolutely nothing. LA Knight fought Jey Uso in a match that was actually decent. It was a decent match. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But quite frankly, nobody cares. The winner of this match is just going to lose to Gunther. So what does this do? What does this seriously do? Let's be honest with ourselves. Monday Night Rio, ladies and gentlemen. Monday Night Rio. Okay. We move on. Maximus Dupree had a video segment. The New Day came out at nearly 50 years old to lose to AJ Styles, who's 50 years old, and Dragano Lee. The ending of that match was peak, by the way. That was a great move. The Dragon Lee doing the stomp, and then it flew into the Styles Clash. That was amazing. After that, what else was there? The Vision came out. Braun Breaker cut a good promo, which we're going to talk about because everyone's going to overreact to it, but we need to calm down. Let me ask you guys a question in chat, actually. I'm curious. Let me see this here. Jamarco Marquez sends over a 2. I appreciate you, Jamarco. He says, I'm Triple H. Raw will be epic. Jey Uso. Yeah, no, Jey Uso's done. Anyways, as I was saying, let me tell you guys something. Braun Breaker, let's say for the sake of argument, because some people I've seen are saying that the promo wasn't that good, and some people are saying it was really good, so it's kind of mixed opinions on it. The crowd was very mixed on it as well. If you saw the show, after Braun Breaker cut the promo, part of the crowd wasn't even reacting, part of the crowd booed, part of the crowd cheered, and then part of the crowd was chanting CM Punk. So, I mean, there's mixed reactions in the crowd. People don't know how to feel about him, but it is what it is. However, let's ask you guys, what did you think of Braun Breaker's promo? Good or not good? In the middle? What do you guys think about it? What are you giving that promo? What do you think? Because if you actually watched the promo, the crowd seemed pretty mixed on it. I mean, they didn't really care. So, and Braun Breaker's voice crack did his blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? He had a multiple voice crack during that segment. Okay, all right. It seems like mostly people are saying it was good or decent, and then part of people are saying it was mid to bad. So, but the consensus seems like it was solid. It was decent. Okay, decent promo. I'll take that. Decent. All right, fair enough. But the problem is this, right? Braun Breaker cutting a decent promo. What does this accomplish? He's been booked bad for a year now, guys. A year of bad booking, and he cuts one good promo. What did this do? What did it do? Seriously, can someone tell me, what did this advance? I would love to see in the chat what the opinions are as to what did this actually accomplish? Because it does nothing. It does nothing. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It does absolutely nothing. Nothing, of course. It does nothing. I'm sorry. We have to ask ourselves these questions because when segments happen, what really makes a segment or a promo or a match good is, can it happen and you think about it and it gets better the more you think about it. When something happens in the moment and you're like, man, that was cool, and then the more you think about it, it gets worse, it wasn't good. In the moment after Braun Breaker cut the promo, I was like, you know what, man, that was actually a good promo. Then I thought about it for a second. I was like, well, number one, if you give anyone on the roster the freedom to take any type of personal shot they want at the person they're fighting, the promo is going to likely be at least solid, which is what the promo was. Secondly, obviously, Braun Breaker's been booked horrible for a year. So him being booked bad for a year makes it so that no one cares what happens in this promo. So that's problem number 2. Problem number 3, guys, Braun Breaker is not a believable main eventer yet. So are you telling me that after one promo in 1 year of bad booking, everything has just changed? Come on now. Let's think about it. Let's ask questions. Braun Breaker has told no good stories. He's cut a good promo now. He's been on the main roster for a year and a half. He's been sitting under Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman for 8 months and is finally now cutting one good promo. I don't know. We'll talk about it. In the meantime, let me go through some of these donos, man. I got y'all. Okay. Tomaz sends over a 5. Thank you, Tomaz. You know what I'm saying? Triple H saying it would be epic, but wasn't even good enough to be considered mediocre. I'm so done with this garbage. Rip WWE. What's it called? Triple K. You know what I'm saying? Can suck it. Well, it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, Tomaz, thank you so much, by the way, for the dono. But, bro, it is what it is at this point. I mean, we have to really be honest with ourselves, guys. This episode was not good. Now, I understand that everyone's going to fall into the trap of it being, quote-unquote good because listen, Solo versus Gunther was a solid match. Braun Breaker cut a good promo. But outside of those things, which, again, have no long-term value to literally anything, outside of those 2 things, what happened tonight? We had Monday Night Rio. We had a main event that ended in a brawl. What was captivating about tonight's show? What Logan Paul and Rey Mysterio arguing backstage? What happened here? The New Day versus AJ Styles and Dragano Lee. What did we do? I'm trying to understand what the appeal is here. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, Sherez Seal sends over a 5. She says, and I, oh, wait, hold up. Did I read the one before that? Oh, yeah. And I can't stop thinking about the jobber in the hoodie. Yes, sir, man. We're going to have to add something else, by the way. Thank you, Sherez Seals, for the donut. I appreciate you. However, we're going to have to add something else here, guys. Drew McIntyre, if he keeps on mentioning going forward about how he hasn't won a championship since COVID, I'm going to have to say, I can't stop thinking about COVID. So we're going to have to look into that going forward. Walst Money sends over a 14. Appreciate you so much, Walst Money. Thank you for the dono, bro. He says, these fans who said Survivor Series was not that bad are basically lowering their standards. Not that bad is just another word for mid, and we should not be getting mid pay-per-views. Walst Money, amazing point. Thank you for the dono. That's complete facts. At the end of the day, if we're really just accepting anything, then these shows can be deemed as good or be deemed as decent. But this isn't decent, guys. We have to have some type of standard for this garbage. We have to, bro. It's as simple as that. We can't sit here and let me just read to you what happened tonight, guys. Before I get into, because I'm going to get to the donos obviously in a second, but let's just read through this again. What happened tonight? Let me open this up real quick. We had LA Knight versus Jey Uso. Gunther versus Solo Sikoa, a Maximus Dupree video segment, right? We had, a main event segment that was just a brawl between 4 women's tag teams in a women's division that's dead in the tag team division. We had a opening up of a promo with Rhea Ripley where she said nothing and said Monday Night Rio. We then had, we had Braun Breaker cut a good promo, and that was it. That was your show. What about that is a great show? How is that amazing? How? I'm trying to understand. I'm really trying to see from other people's perspective what about this show was a successful, massive hit, and I can't see it. But to be honest with you guys, I mean, most of these shows suck. So, I mean, you can't be surprised at this stuff. We just have to be honest. You know what I'm saying? We have to call it like it is. These shows aren't good. So it is what it is, man. Let's get back into the donos. Tyler Newton sends over a big 20, man. W's in the chat for Tyler Newton, bro. Tyler Newton sends over a 20. He says, my kids refused to go tonight in Glendale. What was epic? Jay crying? He ain't nothing still. Gunther's music is annoying. I can't even hear LA Knight. Wow, LA B word speak. AJ was fire. Braun starts barking and walks out. Explain this trash. Tyler Newton, thank you so much for the dono. I appreciate you, bro. And quite frankly, we have to be real with ourselves, guys. Like what he just said is complete facts. This was a bad episode of Raw. I understand that now when a show is mid, it's just now justified as it being amazing. Because that's what this show was. This show was like a 4 out of 10 or a 3 out of 10. And because it's a 3 or a 4 out of 10, it gets boosted now up to a 9 or an 8 because the standards are that low. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. If I were to take, let's just say, for example, I took the top 5 Raws of last year, okay, and I compared it to this Raw, which is allegedly good, right? If I compared those top 5 Raws of last year to this Raw, that's an allegedly great Raw, it wouldn't even be close, which shows you that this Raw is not great. It's not a great Raw, and you know that. So why are we doing this? Anyways, Tyler Newton, thank you for that. Mr. Slayer, the GOAT, Mr. Slayer is back. He sends over a dono. He sends over a 5. He says the dono of all facts, no bias was to you last stream, by the way. I appreciate you, Mr. Slayer, man. Thank you so much for your continued support. Thank you, my boy. Epic Sage sends over a 2. He says, this crap is so bad. Epic Sage, thank you for the dono, and I appreciate you, and I agree with you, of course, because quite frankly, this stuff is very, very bad. Mr. Slayer sends over another 5. He says, can't wait for Gunther chopping Cena 20 times on Saturday Night Main Event. Again, we're going to get to Gunther in a second, but guys, Mr. Slayer, thank you again for another dono. Gunther has 3 moves. I thought it was 4 or 5 moves, but it honestly is actually 3 now, and here are the moves. Chop, chop, chop. Those are your move that Gunther's doing, bro. I'm going to chop you. I'm going to chop you. I'm going to chop you. There you have it. Simple as that. There's no other way to really go about it, guys. We're just chopping people at this point. Everything is a chop, 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 chop. Chop, 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 chop. Powerbomb, chop. Clothesline, chop. Powerbomb, chop, chop, chop. Clothesline, chop, chop, chop. What are we doing with that? Who is captivated by that? I don't understand. This is go back and watch the Gunther match if you do not believe me, guys. Go back and watch the Gunther match. This is what Gunther did in the match. He chopped. He did a superplex from the top rope. He did clotheslines, and he hit a powerbomb and a low blow. That is what Gunther did in the match. You can go back and watch it and fact check me, but that's exactly what he did in the match. A guy does 4 moves. When Jey Uso does 5 moves and is super over with the crowd and yeeting, everybody's saying that it's stupid and it's annoying, including myself. But when Gunther does 4 moves and is boring and gets no reaction, we're saying that he should retire Cena. Do you see the double standard? And I know Jey Uso's trash as a singles competitor. I understand that. But why is it that Jey Uso sucks for having 4 moves and being super over, but Gunther not being super over and having 4 moves is amazing and peak? There you go. There's a double standard. Let's be honest here. You know what I'm saying? We're here to call it the facts. It doesn't make sense. But again, we have to act like it's different. We have to act like Gunther is just completely different from everybody else. He's a legend. He's amazing. He's not. I'm sorry. If Jey Uso was like 8 or 9 years younger, he could have had an amazing Intercontinental Championship reign just like Gunther did. Maybe not as long, but he could have easily probably put that on. For if you take Jey being over right now and take his in-ring abilities from like 4 or 5 years ago and his promo ability from like 2 years ago, Jey Uso would be unanimously the greatest Intercontinental Champion of all time. If Gunther is the standard, Jey Uso in his prime would be better than Gunther as the IC champion. I'm sorry. Facts are the facts. Your local Ethan says over at 2. He says, you ready for C-Jax? Yes, sir. I am ready for your boy C-Jax, man. Your local Ethan, thank you so much for the dono. Someone in the chat just made a great point. Joe Tessitore can't motivate me to drink water in a desert. That's how bad he is on commentary. He is so... Welcome to Monday Night Raw. Welcome, guys. We are here in Arizona. I hope everyone's having a great day. I hope that you guys are staying safe and staying warm over the holidays. I want to thank you guys for coming. Wow, what a move. Rhea Ripley, again. Great powerbomb. How are you guys doing over there? Wade, you good? Wade, what a move. 1, 2, kick out. Whoa. Oh, man, a hip attack. Hope you guys are enjoying at home. We'll see you after this commercial break. Wow, Jey Uso with another spear. This is awesome. Like, bro, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Come on, bro. That is Joe Tessitore for you. That is literally Joseph Tessitore in the flesh, bruh. That's what Joe Tessitore does, bro. It's ridiculous. Joe Tessitore has not had a good commentated match in many months at this point, bro. You open up the show, there's zero energy at all. Joe Tessitore comes out there, and they're in the middle of a match. You can have 5 finishers hit. They're all kicked out of, and everyone's flying across the ring. Craziness is happening, and you look over at Joe Tessitore, and he's talking about some... Man, I can't believe that Io Sky has done the over-the-moonsault. Liv Morgan is back, Wade. Wade... What are your thoughts on John Cena? How about LA Knight? Yeah. Yeet, we're yeeting, Cole. What? Where's the energy? We used to open up shows and we had pyro blaring out of the screen and everything was going absolutely insane and we were excited and hyped for what was coming. And now Josephine Tessitore comes out there and basically talks about some, have a great day, everyone. Peace out and one love. Come on, bro. Stop this nonsense, man. We gotta move on with this garbage, bro. It's ridiculous. So your local Ethan, thank you so much for that dono, by the way. I appreciate you. Walt's Money sends over another 7. He says, did WWE hire Scooby-Doo and gang to find out who the mystery man was? I don't know, but Walt's Money, I appreciate you with the dono. So there you have it. Joseph Tessitore should literally do ASMR. You know those ASMR videos, bro, where people are literally like ASMR trying food and doing all that stuff and doing like Q&As? That's what Joe Tessitore should do rather than being WWE commentator, bro. He could literally eat his food while watching wrestling and be like, we're now watching Roman Reigns come out. We're now watching Brock Lesnar come out. Jonathan Cena for his final match. Like, come on, bro. Like, it's so stupid. Like, what are we doing, bro? I don't understand this garbage. Anyways, Chris ZB sends over a 2. He says 4 letters, 1 word, done. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, that's probably what it is, man. Chris ZB. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you, bro. Appreciate the dono. Pal Freeze Gambit sends over a 2. He says, Steph must be in Triple H's ear with these crap woman matches. Honestly, that's probably what it is, man. Pal Freeze Gambit, I appreciate you, bro. That's complete facts. These shows are so bad. I'm like, who is in Triple H's ear telling him to book this garbage? 2Maz6718 sends over a 2. He says, Jay, I'm no good enough, oos. Me, no, you're not. 2Maz, thank you so much. It's complete truth. Jey Uso finally realizing tonight that he is a jobber is actually needed. Now what needs to happen is Jey Uso needs to lose his confidence and Yamato Uso should come over and help build back up his confidence and they can become a tag team again and have 1 or 2 more great World Tag Team Championship runs as the Usos and we can move on. That's what we need from the Usos. Jey Uso does not need to be doing this singles run stuff anymore, man. It's over at this point. Anyways, Mr. Oh, wait, hold up. Whoa, 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 man. I'm missing a lot of the super chats, guys. I got to go back here and read these. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Hanky sends over a two. I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you as well, too, Maz, by the way. He says, did you read Instagram message yet from a while back? No, I did not actually. I need to be more active on Instagram and go read it, man. If you drop your username, what's it called? Actually, if you just DM me right now, I'll probably remember it's you, and I'll just go check it after the stream or tomorrow or whatever. But thank you, though, for the donut, man. I appreciate you. Elijah Day sends over a two. He says that Braun Breaker promo was fire, though. Elijah Day, thank you for the dono. The Braun Breaker promo was solid. We need to really... I'm going to explain why the promo was not as great as everyone's saying it is, but it was still a good promo, all right? Don't get me wrong. I'm not hating. It was a good promo, but we have to really look at things in context. When a guy like Braun Breaker has been booked awfully for a year and a half, sitting as a jobber lackey to Seth Rollins, to Brunson Reed, and then to Brock Lesnar and Drew McIntyre and Logano Paul now, and now he cuts one good promo and everything's just gone. He's been booked bad for a year and a half. And I'm sorry to say this, but the way that Braun Breaker's voice is, there's he's missing a little bit of inflection in his voice because of the way that his voice is. It's not his fault, but I'm just saying. Like, if Roman Reigns cut a promo, or if someone else with a deeper voice cut a promo, it has, like, more of a point to it. But with Braun, there's a little bit of squeaking in there and voice cracking, which makes it funny, but he's not supposed to be funny. He's supposed to be taken seriously. That's his character. So it's different. I don't know. I don't like Braun Breaker on the mic, but,